Hello, blessed people. Can you hear me? So today we're going to do measurements. I'm also a fashion designer. I also sew. I do many things. I have many skills. So today we're going to do measurements. How to do measurements. How to measure. Even you're not a tailor, you want to measure yourself. You can measure yourself. I don't have manicure. I could have used manicure. Manicure, they call that baby whatever. Plastics. I don't have this. I'm using human being. Now, if you want to measure yourself, you start from. Hold your head. You start from the shoulder. Neck is fixed. We have neck. You can measure 3 4 depending the wideness you want, but you have to measure the shoulder. Is very put your hand down. Shoulder is very important. Let me speak like this. Okay, can you see it now? Okay, you can see it. Don't mind the hair. You can measure your shoulder like this. Okay, you can see it. Take your tape like this. Your tape is measured in centimeter. We have 1 to 60. Put it from this end where you have in your shoulder. There is a joint here from your armhole. There is a joint here, upper here, and to the joint here. You see, you feel it. Then measure it like this. Can you see now? From one end here to this end here. So you measure. Our hole now is 14 and a half. 14 and a half. Or if you want to make it wider a bit, just say 15. But now I think it's 14 and a half. So people add half inches. So maybe if they want to sew to make it extra, but you can just use 14. And me, I will use 14. I will just use 15. Our own measurement is 14 and a half. Just add half, making 15. 15. So our own measurement from our shoulder is 15 inches. Then after shoulder, you measure, we call it from shoulder here to this breast, this nipple here. Are you seeing my hand? This nipple here is called shoulder to nipple. It's called, we call it shoulder to nipple is called not half length. It's not half length. I'm trying to remember the name. Sorry, I'm trying to remember it. So from this shoulder here to the nipple is called, it's not breast span. Breast span is from nipple to nipple. So that just be shoulder to nipple. If I remember, I'm going to say it. Shoulder to nipple. Our here is 9. Where that nipple is, that's how you measure it. It's very necessary for those that is a fashion designer. They will understand better. Shoulder to nipple is 9. Our here is 9. They don't remove. Still put your tape there. Shoulder to under bust, in case you want to put bustier. You want to put bust, you want to pad the bust. Shoulder to nipple is very important. And from shoulder to nipple, you put under bust. That's shoulder to under bust. Our is 12. Shoulder to under bust is 12. Normally it's always 3 from that nipple to under bust. You know 3, except if you have a big breast, but normal breast is 3. So our shoulder to under bust, I see is 12. Then after taking shoulder to nipple, then shoulder to under bust. Look at this. Look at this under bust. Can you see under bust? This shoulder to nipple here. Then shoulder to waist. Don't you still put your tape there? Look at our waist. So people use their navel as their waist. You start because some people put their skirt in their navel. So put the navel and belly is almost the same. So shoulder to navel, our own is 16. That is, we call it half length or shoulder to waist. You know your waist now, hand. This is your waist. That deep, that curve is your waist. So we call it shoulder to, we call it half length in measurements. So shoulder to navel or to that deep part in your body is called half length. Then after you take that one, you now take, look at this nipple to nipple. It's very important. If you want, in case for those that want to sew princess dart, there's a kind of the way you, for those that are the detail, you understand what I'm saying. We call it princess dart. It cuts across your breast like this, from the fraction, from the clothes you are sewing. So this is very necessary. We call it breast span. Breast span, SPAN. So it's from nipple to this nipple. It's very essential. Our own is 5. Nipple to nipple is 5. Then you can also measure your half length from the back as well. Take it from the back. Because sometimes there are some people that have big, broad back. It's not, if you measure only the front, the back, if you don't measure the back, you will not get it right. You have issue with your material. So you can take from shoulder to your half length at the back as well. If you want to sew the back, you use the back measurement for the back. Use the front measurement for the front. For those that have big back, but if you don't have it, normal size, just take it from the front and you are good to go. They can also measure shoulder to waist. Shoulder to waist. Our own is 23. Look at our waist where you have the bumble. Not where the bubble finish, where you have the real bumble. Look at where the bubble shook out. That is 20, our own is 20, 23. Shoulder to waist 23. You can take it from here, shoulder to waist 23. Then you can also sew, depend on your size, depend on the style you are sewing. So people measure shoulder to knee. Maybe you want to sew 6 pieces, where you want the cuff to start from. That one is optional. But I'm just giving you the normal general measurements in physics, in human, not to say normal clothes and all that. Then you now measure your full length down. If you are measuring your full length, tell your clients to look at front. You should not bend down. Then you pass it across the breast. Can you see the way I'm doing it now? Pass it across the breast. Let it go down. Let it fall on the breast. Because if you do it like this, it might affect the measurement. Because the breast shoot out. So let it be across the breast and take your full measurement. Anyhow, skirt or another. If you want to measure skirts as well, you can also take for your look at the place. Ask her where she normally put her skirt. Do it from her navel or her belly or wherever. Ask her to take your skirt from here, you take it down. There's what we call waist length. Waist length, that if you want to sew skirt, because skirt is quite different from gown. If you want to sew skirt, you take from here. How many? The normal standard is 8. That is from your waist to your hip. There's a way you cut it. It's not the same. You cannot just take from your shoulder to your waist and take it down. No, your hip is bigger than your waist. Every physical human being, their hip. This is your waist now. It's your hip here. This is your hip where you have your bumble. Is always bigger than your waist. Your waist always go inside, but your hip we shoot out. There are some people that even have uh, big waist and all that. So there's a length for it. I think the standard, if you're not too big, if you're average human being, average like her now, she will use 8. Just from waist to the hip. Look at it. It's 8. We call it waist length. We call it what? Waist length. Or hip length. Sorry, hip length. Can see it now. From here, you take it like this. And you take it like this. I'm going to do practical on how to cut normal clothes. And once you watch this one, you can understand it. So you take it from your waist to your hip. And once you can use from where I'm seeing here now, make that bum bum stop. If you want to know your waist length, you see the highest. Look at where the bum bum is. She can use 8 from. So our waist length. Sometimes some people that children use 6, some use 5, depends. But normal adults use 8. But if the person is of a big size, please use 9, 10, and all that. All those horrible. But I also can use weight. This one is very essential, because if you don't get it, if your skirt will not enter you, your gown cannot even enter you. Either you are measuring gown, you are measuring skirt, you must use this waist length. It's very essential, because if you take your measurement from the waist, your hip is bigger than your waist. Sometimes there are some people that their hip, their hip is the same with their bust. I'm not get that's why I'm not to confuse you. So this is the waist length. You take your waist length, around is 8. Some people, depend on the style, they also take their knee length. But then this is the important one. Then after that, now we are taking with horizontal. Now we are going to take vertical now, circle. Then now I've mentioned shoulder. So the next one is this is called bust. Bust. This is what? Around. This is round bust. We call it round bust. Round bust. Round bust. You take it. You don't allow it to be too tight. Just be like, look at the way I'm imagining it now. This round bust, how is 30? Okay, let me make it. It's not too. Is it too tight? How is 33 round bust? Then there are some style that demand on that bust. Call it round on that bust. Round on that bust. You tighten it under the belt. Look at the bust. It's always fitted like this. You only don't lose it. You only tight like this. How is 28 round on that bust? Then you take your waist where you have that deep part, or your where you have the navel. How is 30? Look at our waist here. Round under bust is different from waist. So round under, look at under. Can you see under bust? I'm here. Then waist, bring it down. This is our waist. Then you cannot take your hip. Can you take her? Can you see her hip? Can you see her hip? You loosen it, let it pass her bumbo at the back. Show your back. So the rope, the tape must pass her bumbo. You don't see it. The rope, look at it. Can you see now? You must be able to pass down and go up. You must not tight. Take the biggest part of it. Don't go and take upper east to upper one. If you take upper one, it will affect here. Take where the bumbo is. Thank you. So you take your waist. Our own is 36 now. 36 and all that. Depending on the style you want to waist. Then what other things again? Now the armhole. For you to cut the armhole like this, just take your armhole like this across the hand. Can you see now? We call the armhole. Just measure it like this. Ask your client if it's too tight or it's too loose. Look like this armhole. You just take it from my hand owner. I am having 18. I'm having 18. This measure I've just made. If you want to apply it to your fabric, it's different ways. Oh, it's divided into four. Because human being has from tailor tens, human being have four parts. One part, you have two breasts. One part. Are you seeing me very well? One part, two parts, likewise your back, three parts, four parts. Because you fold your clothes like this. You must fold your clothes into two. Don't worry, since you have idea of measuring, I will also teach you how to apply it to a fabric so you understand. So this arm I'm doing now, you're going to divide into two if you're applying it. The shoulder into two, but this round and all that into four. For it to I will apply it, so I will give you a video on it and you understand better. So your armhole is measured like this. Can you see the way I'm measuring arm? Can you see the way I'm measuring across the hand? That I'm measuring at home. Then you also measure the length of the hand. Just put it where you have the joint, where you have your shoulder and your hand joined together. There's a place for that. Just put your tip there and measure it. How many lengths do you want? You see, if you want 10, 15, measure it. If you have long sleeve, you measure it. You also measure here. There's a place you have to measure. You have to measure here to know how you will slash it. It's very important. Measure the size of the hand. There's people that have mother Jesus mother hand. So you have to measure it and measure the ankle, that is the ribs. You measure the ribs, round ribs and round here. Measure it together. So this is the best way I understand measurements. Please, let's take the hand. Now I remember, for the beginning when I was measuring from shoulder to nipple, it's called bust points. Bust points. From shoulder to nipple is called bust points. From nipple to this nipple is called bust span. SPAN. Bust span. From shoulder to under bust is called under bust. Like shoulder to under bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to breast, bust points, shoulder to under bust is still under bust. We have shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip. That is vertical. Call it vertical. The horizontal and round. You measure your neck, you measure your bust. Your bust is very important. Measure your bust. And if you want to measure your bust, if you want to measure your client bust as a lady, tell her to put on a bra. Because if you measure it like that, if you sew it and she now put on bra to wear the clothes, it will not enter. You have issue with that cloth. Let her put on a bra. You ask her, do you want a flat one? She must put on a bra for you to get the accurate measurement of bust, of round bust. They also have round under bust. It's very essential. Round under bust. Then we have waist. This is waist now. It's not shoulder to waist. Round, that is waist. You understand me? You measure your waist. Shoulder to waist here is called half length. It's called what? Half length. Then round like this under your waist. In your waist, you call it waist. You understand me? They also measure your hip, round hip. And also measure your straight hip and all that. Then measure your full length, either skirts or whatever. If you want to sew skirts, you want to sew gown, I will tell you more. If you want to sew skirts, you want to sew gown, I will also educate you more and all that. Then you measure your armhole round, measure your hand and measure your ribs, measure your ankle here. So that is how for measurements. Your neck is dependent on you. The one you want to cut your neck depends. We have 8 by 3 standard. You just depend on how you want it. You want it tight, you want it loose, whatever. This is how you measure it. So I guess you have learned a lesson here. So thanks for listening. Bye. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on my Facebook. And I'm going to apply this measurement I've just taken now. You may not understand, or you may understand to an extent. I'm going to apply it to a fabric for better understanding. Bye.